Hey there, and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Tuesday, the 23rd. And we're going to continue with this. Well, now it's turning into a castle. But first there was the keep. Now we're adding stuff to make it into a castle, the walls, some buildings. And I did about an hour's worth of work on it, and really I should have just used pencil, because I ended up having to add a lot of shadows to cover up my pen lines, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to erase that. Also, to fix mistakes and make it look more interesting and have more texture. So before I add more detail, I wanted to go over the thought process and make a video out of it. So yeah, I added walls, and these, I would have laid it out better if I were to do it again, but that's okay. Maybe figure out how I would want the walls, towers. You could probably use a tower. Maybe you wouldn't see it in this view. Well, maybe over here. But we'll work on that. Let me give myself a reminder that I want a tower. Okay, so several things I want to go over. One is that I'm adding this attachment right here to make it look interesting, but also to make it seem like they built onto the older keep and they added something. But it also gives me an opportunity to go over the perspective, because it's going to be cylindrical. So there, you just do the perspective like a box, but then make the lines kind of curvy because it's cylindrical. And since it's not really that detailed, it's okay. So just kind of imply that the form. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that. And then the other thing is, part of why is because I had this pen line right here. Like I said, I should have used pencil, but so I want to cover that up. And then this little bracket that I drew kind of looks like a bird, so whatever. So yeah, that's why I'm adding this. Plus it adds to the story. But the other thing is, so this is going to have a conical roof. So the perspective is like this, kind of like a triangle, but it's a cone. And then because it's above the horizon line, you would see under it a little bit. So put a shadow and just keep the shading cylindrical. But I'm at the stage where I kind of need to just take my time with this. So, but I want to talk about what I'm doing. And I'm not going to be able to finish this on video, but I'll do it off camera. Because I think in the next video I'll probably work on the go back to working on the figure. I'm gonna leave that and then a banner. Gotta have a cool banner. Okay, so that's that part. As far as the shadow, it also is in perspective. So keep the shadow in perspective. Like that. And it should reflect. So if this is this part, it should look like the same shape. Now for this area, I'm making it seem like we're standing atop the wall that goes around. So the shadow will have to go with the same vanishing point. The other part that I want to talk about is not everything has to go to the same vanishing point. So I'll talk about that before I forget. Okay. So yeah, let's do that. So this is the horizon line, like I said, and I'm gonna put in little trees way off in the distance. And I figure this area here would probably be flat land. And so for the keep, we've been using these vanishing points. But then one thing is I want to add these buildings attached to the wall. So I can show you how to do that, or how I'm gonna do it. So for example, here's the wall right here, and it'll be in shadow because we're saying that the sun is over here somewhere. So what you do is you bring out how far the building is going to be, and then take it to the vanishing line here, and let's just make one about this big, and then you figure out how tall it's going to be, and then to get the roof, just go something like that. But then the other question might be, well, how do you get this, how do you know where this goes? And that's kind of what I mean about, you can have the vanishing point be out here, same with these. I'll probably make these into stalls that can be torn down. this is kind of like a courtyard setup, market area. But one thing is, so yeah, they're all going to different vanishing points over here. So this one's going like out here somewhere. Let's say it's going there. So just keep that consistent. So if you're saying it goes here, yeah, so just make sure that this one, and then that's how you can place different objects. This one I might turn into like a horse and cart, but you just fit it inside here. I have to look up reference for a horse. Then on this building, I'm gonna add a pointed roof. And so the way you would do that, well, let me add it. Well, let me do this, and then I'll add one here too. So you have a box, and I have it going to this vanishing point. So just find the center, and then I'll add a well so you can see how to do a circle. And if that's the center, just put a line to where how tall the roof will be. And then it'll also go to the same vanishing point. So that's how you do a peaked roof. The other thing is, let's place a well someplace, maybe right here. So to do that, I'm gonna say that the well was built, I'll just go off of this vanishing point here. Basically, you need to create a square on the ground. So you've got your square, and then find the center. So that's the center. And draw an ellipse that touches the edges here. That's how you get your circle, and bring up the side. And that's how you get a ellipse in perspective. Probably turn that into some kind of well. This is not historically accurate. It's for demonstration purposes. How do you add like a little roof thing? I would just take it to the same vanishing point here. Something like that. What else that I want to go over? Oh, I was doing that with this building too. So I picked this vanishing point. But that's the basics of it. But yeah, hopefully that gave you something to work with. and I'll probably just play around with this and do some research and everything, but let me do a little bit of inking before we go. I wanted to at least make a little more progress here. So on this far wall, or this wall, you'll see a little bit of the top. If you want to add figures, that was the other thing. I wanted to add maybe some figures right here. And keep it in perspective this way. Kind of like that. Alright, well, I'm going to keep working on this, and until next time, keep on sketching.